So now we're going to learn how to graph without the ratio tables that we created before. We can graph just by looking at, let me put my pointer on, we can graph just by looking at our slope and our y-intercept. So the first thing I want you to do is fill this in. Whenever we graph a line, we start by placing a point at the y-intercept. Please write that on your notes. You're going to start there every single time. So in this case, if you look, my y-intercept, if you remember, is positive 2. So I'm going to make a point at positive 2 on my y-axis. So it will be right here. Then from that point, I'll make sure you write it down. After we start here at the positive 2, from that point, we're going to count the slope to find the next point. So for example, I've started here at 2. Now our slope is negative 3. So that means from 2, the negative means we go down. So we're going to count down 3. 1, 2, 3. Now notice this isn't a fraction, but aren't all whole numbers fractions? We can just put them over 1. So if there's no denominator, it's assumed it's 1. So here we go. We're going to go from 2 again, go down 3. 1, 2, 3, and now we run to the right. So our rise was negative 3. Our next point will be right here. Okay, so I'm going to make 2 points in a second, but in the meantime, after you draw those 2 points, you need to connect them to form a line. So now what we're going to do is draw, and I had a drawing thing on here. I'm not sure where it went. Anyway, so what I want you to do is make a point right here where the y-intercept was. So if we're going to follow the directions on our notes, the first thing we're going to do is start by drawing a point on the y-intercept. And remember, we said it's at positive 2. The reason we know that is because of our positive 2b. That's b, that remains the y-intercept. Now the slope, which is negative 3, means that the rise is a negative, so that means we're moving down. 1, 2, 3. The denominator is 1, so I move to the right 1. Here's our next point. I'm going to move down 1, 2, 3, over 1. And the next thing you want to do, and I don't have a ruler for you, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this very well, but you're going to want to use a straight edge to connect those points. Let me see if I can get a straight edge. Where did my ruler go? Here it goes. And keep in mind that you want to put arrows at both ends because this line is continuous. I do not have a straight edge. It does not allow me to do that. So please, please, please try to make yours a little bit better than mine. Let me see if I can make it a little wider and it will cover up all of my errors. There we go. Oh gosh, well, at least some of my errors. This should be a straight line. I thought I could make it better and make it straighter, but apparently I cannot. Please use your ruler. It's always a straight line.